The pastor's secret. The sun had just risen over Augusttown. Church bells rang softly in the distance, but inside the church office, Pastor Matthews sat still, staring at a worn photograph of two boys. His hands trembled. A red inked letter sat on the desk beside him. It read, I'm coming. You can't outrun your past forever. Outside, the choir rehearsed and Sister Janine joked with the deacons, but inside, a man of God prepared for a storm no prayer could calm. To the people, Pastor Matthews was untouchable. His voice was thunder, his sermons fire. They said when he laid hands, demons screamed and ran. He had built the church from scratch. Started in a zinc roofed shack with 5 folding chairs. Now it held 500 souls every Sunday. He drove a modest Corolla, wore no gold. He was respected, admired, worshipped, but not everyone bowed. That Sunday, as Matthews took the pulpit, a stranger slipped through the back door. Dark glasses, scar across his lip. He sat in silence, never blinked. Sister Gloria nudged Deacon Roy. You see him? Something off about that one. But Pastor Matthews only saw his congregation. He roared, the past has no place in God's house. We are new creatures, washed in blood. But as he spoke, the stranger's hand tightened around a folded paper, a police report, and a faded photo of two barefoot boys beside a burning building. That night, Matthews couldn't sleep. He sat in the dark, whispering psalms over and over. His wife, Claudine, stirred beside him. It's happening again, isn't it? She asked quietly. He nodded. I buried it, but he's back. You need to tell them the truth. I will lose everything. Better you lose your title than your soul. Next Sunday was a packed house. Even a local journalist had shown up. Word had spread. Someone was coming for the pastor. Mid sermon, Matthews paused. The stranger stood. You tell them every sin can be forgiven, Pastor. So tell them yours. Gasped. Some stood. Sister Myra dropped her Bible. My name is Tyrone Brown. 29 years ago, me and this man, my brother, broke into a shop. We were hungry. The place caught fire. I screamed for help. He ran. Matthews bowed his head. I I thought you died. I nearly did, but I lived with burns in foster homes, juvenile, then prison. And every Sunday I watched you on TV pretending to be holy. The crowd murmured like thunder building in the hills. Sister Janine stood next. He told me everything last week. I begged him not to do this here, but he wanted the spotlight. Tyrone barked. No, I wanted the truth. I've been silent for too long. The journalist stepped forward, recording. Pastor Matthews, did you ever report the fire? The break in? Did you even try to find your brother? Matthews whispered, no. Why? Because I was afraid and ashamed. Half the church stood behind him. Sister Gloria shouted, the man of God was just a boy. Haven't you sinned? But others shook their heads. Elder Brown, 82 years old, stepped up. A man who hides his sin cannot lead the righteous. The church split. Voices rose. One woman spat, "False prophet!" Another cried, "He saved my marriage!" Matthew stood in the chaos. "Let me speak." Silence fell. "I was 17. We broke in for food. I was the one who lit the candle. I knocked it over. The fire started because of me. When Tyrone screamed, I ran. I was scared. I lied to the police. I told them I was never there. I ran to Mandeville, changed my name. I didn't know what to do. I got baptized. I buried my past under sermons and songs. But God doesn't forget, and neither should we. He turned to Tyrone. "I won't defend myself. I just want you to know I never stopped regretting it. Not one day." Tyrone stepped forward, eyes glistening. "You left me for dead. I wanted to hate you. I tried. But all I ever really wanted was to hear you say that." Matthew stepped down and embraced him. Some people cried, but just then, two police officers entered the church. "Mr. Brown, we have a warrant for extortion and threatening behavior." Tyrone looked stunned. "What? Who?" Sister Janine stepped forward, shaking. "I'm sorry. You told me if I didn't pay you, you would ruin the pastor. You said it wasn't about truth, it was about revenge." Tyrone turned to Matthews, betrayed. "You called the police?" "No," Matthews said softly. "I didn't need to. Your anger already did that." Tyrone was led out in cuffs. The church was quiet, broken, stunned. Matthews faced his people. "I will not ask you to trust me. I will not ask you to follow me. I only ask that you pray for me." He stepped down from the pulpit. No music, no final hymn, just silence. 3 weeks later, the church reopened quietly. Smaller crowd, no cameras. Matthew stood in a plain shirt, no microphone, just a stool and a Bible. "Sometimes the only way God can heal a man is by breaking him. I used to preach about grace. Now I live by it. This is my last sermon for now. I need to step away, to rebuild, not as a pastor, but as a man." A few clapped, most just nodded, somber. After some weeks had passed, Matthews was seen cleaning the churchyard himself, visiting sick members, cooking meals for elders. One day, Claudine found him sitting alone in the chapel. "You know," she said, "they're talking about you again." "Good things?" he asked. "Honest things." He smiled. "Some stories don't end with glory. Some end with truth. And sometimes truth is the loudest sermon a man can preach. So remember, no matter how holy someone appears, every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future."